What's up, YouTube? Books Nelson back with another video, and today we'll be talking about the city. And again, before you My Team guys get out of here, understand that if you do plan on making a MyCareer character, there's one thing I want to point you to before we get to anything else. So if you make a MyCareer character, right, you're going to want to seriously look at the rec and the theater above everything else. In the rec and the theater, you'll be able to get instant matchmaking. And we still aren't sure if the 3v3 will be instant matchmaking. And the reason this is huge for my team people, if you want to play online, if you want to play offline, I highly recommend you make a MyCareer character now that you can get rep from the season progress in MyCareer. But if you wanted to play online, this will be your fastest way to get games. So for those of you guys who are grinding through the season pass, getting those rewards, and you want to get it right away, but you don't want to buy all the levels, making a MyCareer character and getting in here season over season will be your fastest way. Because I can assure you, as a person who's, I won't say I'm 50-50. Honestly, I played so much rec last year. I was as much my teams I played, it was still probably 60-40. But let me tell you, playing both modes is the fastest way. I always had my season done within the first 2 weeks, and we're talking about not even grinding the game crazy, because the XP coins really moves you forward. And if XP coins are still part of the season pass, it's really having double the amount of XP coins that makes it so quickly, which is why I was pro money spent. And except for the last season of the year, I got every single season because that boost was just incredible, and it made the game more enjoyable for me. That's why I always say I'm not against spending money in the game. I'm just against spending money if it doesn't add to my enjoyment. But enough of that. We're going to go right to it. So for all of my MyCareer peeps, we're going to just look at the content here. So long story short, this looks like a really big W in a lot of ways. My only concern is a lot of we're still not getting as much matchmaking as I would like. I would love a feature where you could do all of these modes and have the option to just start up a matchmaking. So you can still walk around, you can still enjoy the city. But once you got into a game, you're playing right away. Waiting on the got next spots for any game mode just sucks. 2K needs to learn this. The park was super dead last year, and I'm very reluctant to call something dead. But having gone to the park and been a park player in like 18, 19, and 20, the park was super duper dead. Theater packed. Instant games, rec, instant games, both squads and no squads. Shout out to people suffering in the no squads. But that stuff was instant matchmaking. Pro-Am was relatively instant matchmaking. But when you go to these parks, once you start winning, or if you have a good record or you have a purple plate, if inexperienced players out there or people wanting to boost their records, right, they want to dodge competition, games happen much slower, and nobody wants slower games. There's no reason to play less of the video game. All right, so if any devs are listening to this, that is not a complicated concept. No offense, all right, much respect, but there's no benefits to playing less games. All right, we want to play more games. If we want to play the video game, we should be on the same page with that. So that having been said, let's go ahead and look at the features. So this is a really nice upgrade to ante up, and honestly, this is probably my favorite upgrade so far. I shouldn't say ante up, but like to Pro-Am. Actually, this is the best upgrade right here for me, because this is proving grounds. You can go into any of these modes. This is going to be matchmaking, right? So this is huge too, but this is more for the competitive people. However, I want to highlight something to you guys in terms of that competitive factor. So you see here, they've got real tiers and they've got matchmaking. Now we have to see how 2K does. You might go in as a bronze and get matched up with diamonds and be like, what is the point of being in this mode if I'm not going to play people within my rank? But if you do, and this is a big if, this matters a lot. If you play people of your rank, now I need you guys to look inside of your hearts and be honest about what rank you really are, right? If you are a silver player, no shame, no shade. In fact, I'm trying to make your experience better. This will be way better than the park. Because if the park is like really lit and there's a lot of people in there all the time, there's going to be a lot of sweats in there. And you are going to get stomped out in a lot of park games if the park is back, because this is definitely what a lot of the competitive old school park players wanted. We're going to see it, but they wanted these courts and this kind of thing. And there's also the courts are much more convenient. That was another reason the parks were dead, is it was really hard to get from place to place. In fact, I went to Elite. I was like, sorry, Chris, that's not happening. I don't care if I got to look at tentacles, no hentai, but like I'm going to be in the Rise courts because I can actually get to them. Right. And it was still annoying, but they weren't nearly as annoying as having to like find a launch pad or a teleporter or whatever they was doing in the Elite courts. So that having been said, between the fact that this is instant matchmaking, the parks will be closer together. This will be the place where you will get consistently fair competition. And you see here, there's actually bonus rewards as well. So if you make it to the point where your skill level is a gold player, and mind you, there's a big skill gap in 2K. That's another thing. Like, these players are way better than all of these players. Most people are going to be here, and the people who are pretty good at the game are going to be here. And then most of the good players are going to be in this rank right here. So if you get here, you're going to get extra rewards, and you're not going to be playing these people a whole lot, because this is still going to be a larger part of the population. Once you get here, you might wind up waiting a little longer for games, and every game you play is going to be against decent competition, which is a positive if you are looking to get better at the game, and the rewards compensate for the slightly less games. So if you look here, even if you got a game, a little bit slower, because you're getting such a bigger boost, you'd rather play fellow diamonds. This is actually very good they did this. You'd rather play fellow diamonds than play against gold. So let's say in a half hour, you play 3 games against diamonds, where maybe you would have played 5 games against golds. The rewards are way better and the games are way better. So you're actually encouraged to play people of your rank as well. So this to me is a massive, massive W. And one of the biggest additions to 2K so far. They need to have this matchmaking on point. I'm definitely actually going to tweet this out, because they cannot screw this up. If you go in as a bronze and you're playing platinum players like last year in Pro-Am, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. You can't do it. It's a ranked mode. There's going to be a slightly longer matchmaking because you're playing people of your rank. But if they don't do that, then there's literally no point for people in these ranks to not just play the theater. And that would ruin this mode. If all of these players just go to the theater like they did last year, shout out to people in the theater, but the theater was not a lot of good players, right? So once these people, you don't want them only playing the theater. You want them to feel comfortable going into Proving Grounds. All right, that's enough of that, but I could talk about that all day. This is a really, really great addition to the game mode. Okay, play anywhere, when anywhere. Proving Grounds is more comp, rec, theater, pro-am, starting 5, competitive fun. So rec, I'm gonna tell y'all, once you get good at the rec, you can basically win every single game in the rec. I say basically, but like, you'll win 9 out of 10 games, not even trying your hardest, right? Like, I won 90% my last 2 seasons in the rec, and we very rarely played our best builds. We rarely went in with double locks or anything like that. I played center in some of these games. I didn't play on my main build every time, still had a 90% win record. If we played on our best builds all the time, it'd probably been something like a 98, 99% win record. Now, you still have to get decent enough at the game to get to that point. What I'm saying is, if you want to work on your game and have fun and have a little more flexibility in terms of what builds you want to play, rec is going to be awesome. Theater is going to be awesome. Now, Pro-Am, I still think Pro-Am is going to be pretty sweaty, because that's just what people are used to. Starting 5, I've heard people had really good experiences in Starting 5. I literally never played that, not one single time, because I don't like voluntarily playing with bots, and I have a lot of friends. But for those of you who play MyTeam, Starting 5 might be good for you, because you're really comfortable playing with bots and you're used to player lock. If you ever play player lock, you're already used to this. And player lock's a good way to learn a card. So I do recommend that as well. Going a little MyCareer, just a game or two to like really learn the cards animations much better. So anyway, Starting 5, for those of you guys who are comfortable playing with bots, will be really good. And the ante up is going to be very sweaty. But it's funny, they're like, oh, this is a fun tested environment. Guys, you're giving out more VC for winning a game. That's going to be super sweaty. But it should be pretty fun, and you do not lose your rank in this mode. So that's also going to be good. So a lot of people are going to get the diamond rank, and they're probably going to go to Pro-Am, because if you're diamond rank, you shouldn't be in the rank. Not with your main crew. Like if you're diamond rank, if you're in the rec, I hope you're on a different build, on a different position, you know, having fun playing around. If you're diamond rank and going in with your best 5 to the rec to like ruin everybody's fun because you're a good player, that just kind of stinks, man. That's like a tournament player going to the pizza shop and beating everybody at Street Fighter. Stop it. Get out of here, man. You graduated. But anyway, like many things in 2K25, we've updated the look and feel of some of these locations. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Okay, so one of my biggest, you guys know I'm an artist by trade, right? That's what I do for a living. You can go follow my art YouTube channel, and maybe link in the description below. But here's the thing. One of the biggest art principles is light over dark and dark over light. So players, even white players, are relatively dark. Their clothes are dark. There's shadows created on them, right? You can see some white players down here. And black players obviously are going to be dark, especially people with darker skin colors. So when you have a dark court, or you have dark characters in the background in the crowd, you lose your player as you get closer to the edges, or God forbid, in freaking triple threat and co-op and stuff, you would just lose your player sometimes. It's like harder to see your animation, which is why we need to get rid of that stupid fireball. So now they've got much lighter courts, much brighter overall situation going on. So now we've got dark players over a light court. Basic design principles. Glad you guys adhered to it this time. It's going to make the game much easier. I know a lot of people don't think about that, but trust me, when people are engaging in content and they feel like, I don't like the way this looks, there's some art principle in the background that people are screwing up. And here 2K definitely got it right, because this is awesome. Pro-Am boasts a new full-size arena that can be unlocked once your team reaches platinum tier. That's a good thing to go for, and it's not going to be super duper easy. I know it's going to be easy for like super pro players, but I think for the average user, that would be a major accomplishment for the average 2K player to graduate from the rec, make your way to Pro-Am, and get that arena. You can say you accomplished something nice in 2K. Everybody's not a league player, and everybody doesn't want to be, because that requires thousands and thousands of hours in the game. And playing a very, very serious way all the time, which everybody doesn't want to do. Anyway, MyCourt. Long story short, MyCourt's back. This is going to be great. Here's another thing. Another great reason to make a MyCareer player for all of my MyTeam viewers is this MyCourt. Being able to come in here and lab up with a friend. Guys, pretend I'm saying this 5 times in a row. All right? Make a character and make this MyCourt. You don't have to invest all of your VC into the character. You don't have to make the character 99. Just put in enough stuff to work on, right? Because with your character, you can replace the SIGs at any time. If they know how to dribble, you can put all of the dribble SIGs on there. So say you make a 6'6" with an 86 ball handle and 86 ball control. Say that's all you put up, right? And you just want to go in here, test the dribbles out, see which ones you like in combination, and then go back to the cards. And you can test it with a person or before you have the card, right? So a new collection drops. You haven't really seen those SIGs yet. And, you know, maybe because remember, all of the NBA players, it's not play now. So every player is not going to drop with all of their own SIGs all the time, most likely. They're going to start getting other people's SIGs as the cards need to get more powerful. And so to know just how powerful that SIG is, if you have a MyCareer player that you throw a little bit of VC onto, that you can bring in here, test it out, test it with a friend, see how it really measures up in just, you know, competition there. That could be a very, very, very useful thing if you're trying to get better at the game. This is a great tool to work on stuff. You can also work on individual jump shot releases. They did not mention, oh yeah, here it is. They have a ball machine. Let's read this paragraph. This is the best place to hone your skills and learn game mechanics between your adventures in the city. You can work on your shooting and dribbling in a freestyle environment on your own and work with a ball machine. This is huge because I don't know if there's going to be a ball machine in MyTeam. If there's no ball machine in MyTeam, I'm telling you, making a player, say 6'6", and giving them 85 3 ball and like a 90 mid-range, and then just having the ability to come in here and work on any jumper from MyTeam with a ball machine, that practice is going to be so fast. Even though MyTeam, you have the players passing it to you. But again, you don't have the card yet if you're not sure. Like if a collection drops and it's like they drop Allen Houston and say Mitch Richmond in the same collection. Okay. And you go on 2KDB and you look at the jumper. All right, which one of these do I want to buy if it's an available way to get it, or auction house, right? Which one do I want off the auction house? You make that, you put that on your player, you come in here, right? Because that's not going to be in play now, right? It's probably going to be a blended jump shot. So you put the base in the release, you come in here, you practice the shot, you got the ball machine, you get up reps, you in just 5 minutes, you know exactly which jumper you want. And now you can go to the auction house with confidence of, yeah, I can really cook with this guy. So guys, I'm telling you, as a lab head, this is the sauce right here. So we're going to keep it moving. MyCourt has difficulty settings. Awesome. Absolutely fantastic. 3v3, 1v1 horse, yada, yada, yada. Pretty good. You can personalize your MyCourt. Okay, that's just, for people who are actually playing MyCareer. And again, I am going to be playing MyCareer. Hopefully it's much more fun this year. You'll be able to customize it, which is a nice thing. Like if you have friends that you play with and they come to your MyCourt, when this was a feature back in the day, people will come to your court and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. You got the yada yada. So it's a cool little social thing. Rise and Elite are back. So it's the same thing. LD2K and Shakedown, different courts. These courts look a lot better, closer together as we see. I don't know why we have a pirate ship in the background and a robot over here. I still think I understand. Like, listen, there's a lot more basketball oriented stuff in the seasonal content, which we'll see later. But I would still like to see this just get cooler. I just like to see cooler, more basketball culture designs. I don't even mind that there's a little sci-fi. I don't get the pirate ship stuff, but there's certain things that are associated with basketball, like people who watch basketball watch a lot of anime, play a lot of video games. I just think we can get a little tighter with these themes, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay, welcome to the city. In NBA 2K, we are enhancing the experience for beginners with several new features designed to make the city more welcoming. This is actually really good for my MyTeam people who are looking to get more into MyCareer this year, which again, you might want to do, because if you're gonna be in that 3v3 triple threat, having friends who play MyCareer who can help you learn a little faster might be the way to go if you're playing the full 3v3 as opposed to, playing with the bots. As you explore the city, you'll be greeted by your affiliation leads, LD2K and Shakedown. So your affiliation is basically you go to one of these two characters and choose which side you're going to be on. At the Hollow Help booth. So basically Shakedown and LD2K are going to be little holograms. They're going to give you tutorials. Just like every tutorial in 2K, I highly recommend you do this because there's often some basic information that slips through the cracks that can be communicated in these tutorials. So I know everyone, doesn't like going through tutorials and stuff like that. That's not a thing everybody likes to do. Even myself, like a game like 2K where I know a lot about the game already, but I'll still check with the tutorials just one time just to make sure, because sometimes it's a little feature, a little part of a feature that was never said in the courtside report. It's not been covered by a YouTuber, wasn't said on Twitter, and the game will have that information. So just double check, go through these tutorials once. You're gonna be playing the game all year. Don't cheat yourself out of information by skipping out on that. All right, accessibility was a major foundation of 2K25, and that continues directly into the city. Okay. This is a badly written sentence. Was a major focus. Whatever. Op-ed down. All right, whatever. As you start your competitive journey, we recommend visiting the affiliation parks with so they have the casual courts. This is actually huge as well. The novice-friendly casual courts with easier difficulty. These 2v2. So what they said in the video was that these courts will only be open to new players. Now, I don't know if that means if your character overall is new, or like once you play 100 games or whatever that may be. Maybe it's a combination of all of those. But this is offering a casual environment without the pressure of facing seasoned veterans. So you won't have to play me and my friends when you go to these casual courts. Now, we'll probably be on it in the first week of the game, as we get our bearings. Everybody's a casual in the first week. Nobody's going to know how to play this game. If you saw the gameplay from Community Day from some great players, they were very, very bad at the game. No offense. It's a brand new game. You have to be bad. Justin Wong's one of the greatest fighting game players of all time. When a new fighting game comes out, you'll see the first hour of Justin Wong is nothing like what he'll be like, at the end of the week. That's just how that goes. Even though Justin is one of the greatest early game fighting game players ever, but you get the point. So these casual courts is going to be really popular when the game first comes out. After the first month, it's going to be more chill, but we have to see what this is based on, in order to really tell how helpful it'll be. Because if it's based on overall, it's not going to be good for casual players, because I guarantee you, people who just want to pad their records, even though there's so many things in the game where you should be playing competitive, they will make the best 71 overall possible and come on here and absolutely stomp. Like, they'll do something crazy like only put up 3-pointer and dribble and play with 2 lockdowns who only have 3-pointer and like perimeter defense and just run these things. And that's how the 2K community is. And as a build, lab guy, I can tell you every year I know the best like 75 overall builds you can possibly make. And those builds can be much better than you think. Because most people, as they're building their build up, they build it up to be a 99 overall. But if you know your build is going to cap out, you leave certain things blank. Like, you're like, no layup, no strength, whatever it may be to make your build, good. And now stamina is not even a thing, right? So they're going to come on here with max stamina. It's not even going to hurt their VC or anything like that, their overall. So anyway, it depends on what the parameters are, but this looks like a really good feature. Another good feature, added a new squad finder that assists in finding your perfect team. This is going to help a lot for you people suffering out there in the random wreck. We have to see how this goes, because it's like, you put all of this stuff together. They got the performance range there, which is great. Shout out to all the people who are going to be, black and silver plates, casuals, and whatever the next one is. I guess casual baller. I forgot what the names of them were, but I was purple plate, pretty much the whole year after January. That was when I got like more serious about the game. But, shout out to all the people looking for purple plates and they actually have a bronze or a black plate. Which actually makes sense if it's per character again. If it's per character, it makes sense to do that, but you need to have friends if you're going to be doing that. Because this changes per character. We'll see if this is locked to your account or if it's locked to your character. That's going to be a very, very interesting thing. Also, something to look out for. All right, mastering 2K takes a lot of practice to hone your skills. We hope it helps. Okay, Streetball was a big community favorite in NBA 2K24, and our team wanted to go bigger and better with it this year. Streetball has been upgraded with more over-the-top rewards for your MyPlayer. That's very good to show off. There are 3 new locations, a building rooftop, awesome, on the beach by the sand dunes inside the temple. We'll see how that looks. And new in 2K25, we've got an optional co-op Streetball mode. That's really big. I don't think they mentioned this in the courtside report. Not this courtside report, the video. But that's actually massive, because this is a way you can grind your character out. Okay, so everybody complains, oh, it takes so long to grind a character and, the VC is so much. Listen, if you guys buy the special edition, which I do not recommend, but if you buy the special edition, and I don't recommend it, to be clear, if you buy the regular edition and then spend all of that extra money you would have spent on a special edition on VC, you get more VC. And VC is what you care about. You don't care about any of the stupid things they put in it. Especially since, as I can tell, so far I've seen there's no MyTeam points, so you want that all to be VC. But hypothetically, let's say you got the special edition, you have that intro VC. You put that into your MyCareer character. Don't go out in those streets. You don't even have to go to MyCareer. Build your character out to work with a friend. Come to these Streetball courts. You'll be grinding your badges. You'll be getting VC. You'll be getting these rewards. The games will be super fast, and you can start to work on your team chemistry for other modes. So this is actually really huge. And also, for those of you who play MyTeam, Streetball is a great solution for you want a MyCareer character to farm for you throughout the year. So here's the thing. And we haven't discussed this. So we've discussed it in a I don't want to spend no VC or as little VC as possible with a MyCareer character. Let me tell you guys the benefit of having a MyCareer character that's maxed out. Once that character is maxed out, if it's a build you can play for the rest of the year, that character is farming VC every time you touch it. Whether they're doing a race, which we'll get to later on, whether you go online to play just to switch it up, whether you're doing quests, so there's usually Streetball quests and like little daily quests and weekly quests, whether you're doing that kind of thing. If you're only making one character after the first month the game is out, and if you play all year, right, this character for the rest of the year is going to be farming VC for you. And it adds up really quickly if you're not spending that VC on the character anymore. So Streetball has been upgraded, blah, blah, blah. All right, moving forward. But yeah, this is yet another reason I do recommend you make a MyCareer character. You want to spin the wheel every day. I've won probably grand total of 1 million VC off of the wheel just this past year, right? So that's just to let y'all know. So anyway, so if you're not spinning the wheel, if you're not joining the affiliations, I really think you're missing out. It's a sacrifice early in the year. It's a grind, but this year more than any other year, it's going to help you out. All right. Iconic My Parks. Yeah. So during the seasons, these My Parks from the past will be coming out at the end of this season. I believe it's Sunset, I think he said. Rep and Legend. And there's double rep for this stuff too. So that should be cool. We enjoyed watching the community's dedication to the rep grinds, blah, blah, blah. The year-long rep system is divided into 4 categories, each with 5 tiers, rookie up to legend. At each tier, you unlock rewards, such as the new cap breakers. We have to see exactly where those cap breakers are. This is very MyCareer oriented. If you're a MyTeam player, this doesn't concern you at all. Even if you are dabbling, this is really for people who are a little more hardcore and playing all year. But usually there's something pretty good, at least in that starter level. And this takes a long time because I played a lot of games and I didn't even get into like veteran last year. So this takes a long time, a lot of games. I won more than 100 games every single season and still nowhere near it. So this is for the grinders for sure. You do get more of this rep if you do Pro-Am. I don't know if it's still going to be the same case. It might be you have to go into the more competitive modes for the extra rep, which means those extra rep people are definitely going to reap the rewards of that as well. So that's another reason to play rank, because by default, well, not by default, but even at gold, I believe it was 10% extra rep. So that's huge, because 10 games, that's 100% for one. That's basically a whole extra game every 10 games, even just at the gold level. All right, and there's a ton going on in the city. Take a trip to the new Triple Threat. Yep. New shop called Limited Edition, where clothing drops from fashion brands. Listen, 2K, I'm letting y'all know right now. Y'all need to bring down the VC prices of these clothes. All right? Because you've priced the average player out of it. Because the thing is, if I have extra VC, I'm making a new build. If I have extra VC, I'm buying boosts, which you need to take out of the game. If I have extra VC, I'm using it on my team. I'm not spending it on these clothes for these clothing brands. But you guys have these partnerships with these clothing brands. I'm not here to tell y'all how to make money, but I'm saying this is not a part of the game that people engage with at a high level. If you go around the city, you do not see a whole lot of, like, people buy a few outfits and they just enough that they don't feel scuzzy, and then they keep it moving. So if you want people to engage with the clothes, you cannot be 20,000 VC for a jacket. You got to bring those prices way down if you want the community to interact with that. Gatorade Gym is now an open area workout platform on the beach. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. There's 2 Gatorade courts where the Gatorade boosts. Oh, okay. That temporary increase of attributes. That's fine. Further along the beach, there's also 2 courts that give a 25% rep bonus. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you got to read this stuff. There's 2 25% rep bonus Gatorade courts. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's crazy. So this is important because if you have a lot of friends, you guys can all just go to these Gatorade courts and get it boost rep. I'm not recommending that. Well, you know what? I mean, it's boosting rep no matter what. But I'm saying if y'all play honestly versus each other and have good games, you can also experiment with certain things. Experiment with builds, experiment with play styles, really learn on these Gatorade courts. So don't sleep on that. We're also improving the way rebirth works. Now, this is huge. Now, anytime you use rebirth to create a new build, you instantly unlock the maximum potential of your new My players to the highest overall rating that you've previously reached. So if you have 199, your next build can automatically be made a 99. This for me changes the meta of multiple build creation. In the beginning of the year, there's probably going to be 2 builds. My first build, which I'm not going to be happy with, and then my second build, which is a massive improvement over my first build. And in that first build, I'm not even trying to get the build to 99. I'm probably going to take that first build to like 92 and then punt on it, right? And then save the rest of it. And maybe that build will be good enough to farm VC for the next build. That second build, though, I'm going to take all the way to 99 before I make the next build. Because not only is it going to raise the overall, but I'll also be building more VC for that next build. And I'll probably wait until I can max out VC or come close to it for my next builds as the game goes on. Track, it's a new racing thing. This is yet another reason you want the MyPlayer, because you can do this track every week. And it says if you win, you'll get 1 million VC. There's some kind of cheaters on here because they literally like 10 seconds ahead of people on a race where there's no speed boosting whatsoever. I've watched one video where somebody won the race and that did make me faster, but like using their techniques. But people have there's some kind of secret going on where people are able to win this because it's always the same person and they're all like the same 3 people and they're always way ahead. 2K needs to start recording these races and showing it to the community. I want to see this because that 1 million VC is completely untouchable by all of the community except for the same like 2 or 3 people that always win. So I need to know what's going on here. But for the rest of us, you still get 2,500 VC. 2,500 VC a week for just doing a friggin' Lego 2K Drive race. Whoa, shout out to them. It's actually, so this was done by the team behind Lego 2K Drive. That's actually tight. So this might actually be fun in addition to being a thing here. I wouldn't be mad if this was a multiplayer thing you could just do. Just give a little kart race. Anyway, earning new teammate, dances, blah, blah, blah. But you earn new stuff that lets you dance or whatever. We know that already. All right, and that's it. So I have to say, I have never been happier with a city update from 2K before. This is the best city I think they've done based on what they're telling us. I've already highlighted a few things we need to see how they work out. But overall, this is looking really, really good. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If I'm on my team, people, seriously consider pouring a little bit of time into MyCareer, because a little investment into MyCareer will reap big rewards throughout the year. If one of you guys is going to listen to me, probably more, one of you guys and girls watching this channel is going to listen to me make a MyCareer character for the first time, being lifelong MyTeam players, and you're going to crack 250,000 VC on that wheel one week and be like, all right, yeah, when that happens to you, I want you to come back and comment that week and let me know that, you know, I helped encourage you to make that MyCareer character, for those of you that do it. I know some of y'all diehards are like, I ain't touching on MyCareer. All I'm doing is MyTeam all the time. I get it. I feel you. But from a person who plays both modes, it's totally worth it. I will see you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. You made it into this video. Shout out to you. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.